before we actually get to look at any of that, let me ask what are some of the expectations that not you as a leadership movement are expecting to see from the current government, the UPND, but what are some of the expectations that people should see from the leadership movement for this year? What are some of the resolutions that you have lined up for this year?
Yeah, thank you very much, the viewers and Millennium at large and the management. As leadership movement, we've been very candid that we'll continue on the path of being factual and giving alternatives to the current regime, because from what we are seeing, they have lost the touch of production, because you cannot continue going the same route. That's why we are going to continue reminding the Zambian people that when we have so many voices like leadership movement, the buzzword should be activities, production, because when we have a government whose lane has shifted to the aspect of removing laws which are supposed to save life, removing laws which are supposed to protect the office of the president, we needed the same laws now to come so that we have production. We should shift from the borrowing aspect. Let's have money to be put to the areas where primary industries, we don't want this comment of the 30,000 teachers, 11,000 health workers. Those are not consumptive jobs. We want now to go to the blue-collar industry where our young people, educated or not, they need to get engaged. Once we start tapping into their energy, you will see that the mill meal can be maintained at a point, because assuming you have areas where you can get the actual products in the aspect of metric tons, the maize, you do your own God-given resources, the mining, basic, pick and shovel. When you go to Lufunsa here, you go Chongwe, Kasisi, these Chinese are busy right now, pick and shovel, as we are told. No, we don't have capacity. So what we are telling the Zambian people is that it's high time we tell this government that their policies now should be tailored to allow a common Zambian who is languishing in these streets. Yesterday, is it a day before yesterday? I don't know if you drove along this, is it Mosotunya Road going to Community House? By Lewanika there. Those people were trading there. Their makeshifts were broken down as you are heading towards the Community House. Just Lewanika there, that stretch going. Now, look at January, just people are preparing for the children. Is this government having a certain way of looking at the downtrodden people? So this is why when we are talking like this, they need to have a heart, knowing fully well that the economic indicators are very bad. So how can you do? It's like at home. You cannot come and just say, today you are not going to eat. You need to have a certain way of taking charge, because children being who they are, they don't know hunger. So this government, we are telling it now, together with the Zambian people, that let's for once tell these colonial masters who've supported us to say, now can you relax? Let's attend to our people. So the expectation, we want the economy to have local solutions. We should relax tax breaks and tax holiday to smaller. Now look at the load shedding. We were told 6 hours. Where has it gone? To 4 hours plus. Now, if you think production, you are supposed to start negotiating with the wattages, the megawatts that you are exporting now. Not that you completely stop, but you say, okay, Vane, we are giving you, for example, if it was 30 megawatts, we'll be giving you 15. Because we have to take care of our own keeping in terms of our economy. Now, the productive hours, in terms of the small scale, they are the ones who are suffering. But go on the mines. They are still enjoying. These foreigners are given concessions. They are looting the holidays. They are having them. You talk of the menial royalties. They have lowered them. But a common Zambian, you look at their businesses and you look at generators, the backup system, you can't afford them. So now we're supposed to be looking at, then you don't. They need to look at cooperating partners now, where Zambians should be encouraged to, you can easily go as Millennium to purchase a generator at a discounted price, because you are in the line of, in fact, you are the fourth estate in terms of governance. So you needed those concessions. That's why we had guard ourselves to remember the media, because in our manifesto, the media is very, very important. We want you people, when you are buying these apparatus, they should be in the line of duty. We look at policies where you grow big and better, because educated or not, this facility has got the ability to employ a number of our young people out there. Now, you can only think like that when you have a production mindset, because this sector, there are a lot of talents out there. It's not about 6 points, 12, grade 12 certificates, but when you are given the leverage, you have the capacity to allow our economy grow. But when you have a government whose policy is just to favor the foreigners, they are given tax concessions. Here, ZRA is always on you. You look at the apparatus, if you are to buy them. So what we are trying to tell the Zambian people is that let's be credible enough, even if they removed this aspect to do with respecting the office of the presidency in terms of that office, because when you are a president, you protect that office to the future presidents. Now imagine here is a parent says, nachosapo malamulo lero amenafuna zitukwana mwanani tukuwafunira. Then what a parent? Those there should be values. We need values. That office, we're not looking at the person in there. We need to have the Ubuntu where we are coming from, where you need to protect it, because not everyone is going to have the character of the current president. Similarly, when you talk of laws, what are you protecting? When you protect these few criminals, because when you look at the majority, you go to Mkobeko there, you discover that none, not even one person was hanged there. Now you are busy, preoccupied with a law which does not take part in any production, because we're supposed to be talking about food, Madam Karen. Now, how are we going to lower the suffering? Then we are invited, no, let's go, we celebrate. We cannot go and celebrate the removal of that kind of statute. If I will bring them back, because we want the majority Zambians to go into production in peace, not where you arm criminals to go and hack, knowing, no, they have removed this. So what are we saying? The same way they are removing those laws, it is the same law, the same way leadership movement is going to bring productive laws. That's why for us we are saying, if you are found dipping money, public money, it will be 35 years imprisonment. Now they will say, no, you'll be dictators. The same way they are removing, it will be the same way we'll be adding deterrent. Remember the issue of defilement. Our young girls were always defiled all over. But when a responsible government came and said, the 5 years imprisonment should be found defiling a minor, what has happened? Even vehicles, way back, when you park your vehicle outside, criminals would have a field day. But when they say, should you be found stealing a vehicle, non-bailable, these are the indicators we are giving. That means you are thinking in a way of trying to bring criminality to a level. But where you give it a field day, laws which are supposed to be protecting the life, because life is a preserve, nobody has got the monopoly. These Americans, where they have the Guantanamo, they know that Al Qaeda can strike us anytime. And see, us, we are told, no, President Obama tried to remove the Guantanamo. What happened? They reasoned. Now, here we are, we seem not to have values, so we want values back. So this is why Zambians now, they need to ask themselves, is it true that the removal of the death penalty has got anything to do with production? How many years have we been staying with that law? Then today, what has happened? So what we are trying to encourage every one of us, let's prioritize on the basic area. You know, we shouldn't be wasting time on the complication of some of these things. Chakudya, very, very important. This is what we want to waste.